Ghana da holding in Ashanase.
That's right. Or your governor.
I said Kumasi cross or now in the kingdom. My culture say when power is slipped into the hands of fools, some of these things never yet just signs and symptoms of it. Oh yes.
So to me could this be a papa for being sama.
Nipa onim nyansa nya say one nan so there that say political power be carry ni so high. So we nim nyansa na say we nya easy access to political ticket Alaska. You think say what it your friends saying baby so also be mad that you feel invincible. And I think say invincibility na no feel it then you know. Empower no man ye nema bebre at the time no and I'm saying I'm drinking kahunti no na one na nwene da say of memra but I think say ene I feel na mra so say mra ene no ye adwuma ho kasa na ho say bebre. So for me I think say that is the main topic what time I can ho asem na no chief justice there be farm ekoye abra your friend is saying or no time the case the court for or no unanimous not the man for no agene there we say one kasa beto brother fool enti ono ankasa age ne dia say ninsa mo de call in court about wagu and I want to mean say or trend but the interesting aspect of it has to do with the side of the minority omo kasa your friend is saying omo court parliament enkoye adwuma because want to me yeah detaining no.
That's right.
And a home bebre. Alaska, I think me also met me at TSM so
I am preko.
All right. So I think want to me sense na e cost no. Ade ba ko a maka say MPP for enye huye ne say Ghana political landscape na sisa. Alaska, I'll go back to 2000, 1992, 1995, 2000, 2008, 12 politics na yeah na. Now you could see that the average Ghanaian is so gullible to the extent that people had emotional attachment to politics. And the audience is because then anabi wuye, and I fear for you na MPP because then anabi wuye. So they were not asking questions. So when you see Obi Oyo no about what you say in the birthright entitlement here already, but we know you are not very close. But with the recent advocacy, this kind of stuff, and I think that young people have come to appreciate say politics, you know, and yeah, abusiane namfo ne me party we ni. Na mum ya kwenya a privilege, ya fan say responsibility we are Ghana for them say kodi ade anim. Enti ene sa and ade na wo kodi animu no, wo kodi na wamfa wadwen na wo de kro no sem ne ensem hunu koka ho. Eto de ade a. People will not waste their time to come to your aid. This is the new era yewom. But I'm saying this MPP and the minority are losing track with the current trend of politics in this country, and they are still living in the past. They think that we are still doing the 1992 politics.
That's right.
They still think that we are still doing the 2000 politics. Hey, yes, Rollins is way for now. That era is gone. First, no can summer. Among for already.
That's right.
Because of that, a friend of foolish, your friend say solidarity. Anyansa bia nim emotionally driven individuals e dia kire but no entesa entina no untumi asama e baaye ene adanta kumi ase ya chene.
That's right.
MPP General Secretary ko on social media control say hey Patriot Rice go to Adenta Kumi's house Alaska post nam to so on one delete
masa da we na for dinner time
ba kwa me se me wura mfi da obi se odwan. When you were chopping the royal ladies, did you call us to come to your house?
Oh
yes. Enti ogwan no mfanti ubaka na say ogwan
anaseto
okay. So General Secretary now offered the party for some run no obisi ogwan when you were chopping the ladies, did you remember us? Now after our friend we will not come or no delete because atama no mudi no post na se no Alaska na airtime ni nyina me kan ba ba wie se ene se MPP ka se onko parliament nkwaye adwuma. The question is e de ba na asi Alaska ya wamra okroma say obi ye neema ne activities afumemra security agencies in the front no.
That's right.
First and foremost senka Ghana ye serious country enka wontumi neema ogo through enka 2022 ena senka ye che no say Ghana ye serious country enka wontumi enka nye ne na Jomahama ba be che no esenka Akufo-Addo na che no ewo 2022 na make sure say ombe detain no e de na kokota kodi na asem But Enam said Abina na Osisuno was part of everything that Wontumi was doing in Tino. The president was spearheading him. And Obia only nyansa na wanya tumi no. Or really that sem.
That's right.
So now they say they just live by the moment. And Chairman, you're not radio so he thought say life was all about that. Makacha say nipa nyansa ni bia no, you stretch your thinking. And now we say in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, he find a mewo.
That's right.
I say any reasonable person be what public office be this is the idea so trouble baby. Now we say in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, where will I be? And see a bad guy though, whenever you are doing stuff, Alaska obey your near my year. And you're quite clear. Sa branche ya can semi a time excavator and machines. Eco Good Forest Reserve, SA Nema.
That's right.
Or and the MPP. Papa na order mineral commission and no Barbontin because omunya mano lease bia.
That's right.
Kwakuba kon the report Barbontin. Your friend say Erastus Donko and several journalists about Krum have man say Wontumi destroy your forest.
Ken Ashigbenum yana.
The only person that defended Wontumi at the time was Akufo-Addo. So the gentleman enya hoden to certain extent, yes, a forest reserve no wa 5 year no assign edge or no twetwa bi ma amanfo.
Twetwaton.
O twaton ma wa. And every month be no gi amanfo gold in terms of gram. I'm told 250 gram of gold. Wow. Yes, because on the year the chef mission in town or chiche o 2 galam say na chiche nsase sanje commission. This is what the guy was doing. Ne nema no they say nema nyina na da ho. Alaska, did you ever hear Afenyo Marking the minority people raising concerns about the destructive nature of Wontumi's business in this country?
No.
When young people were demonstrating on the street of Accra, I know the day Ghana for Mranti and Maiwanu Mum,
and they were arrested.
They were not just arrested, they were detained. Emma Koto, Emma Onumukogu, Nika Humbi, Emma Yadomukogu prison. Alaska. These are the realities across Okroma. Nipa no mo demonstrating against Galamsey no. Omo mom na Godfather Damene as a former court. And your friend saying, Mami da no yi. Detain these young people. It took another demonstration and a lot of advocacy from Ghanaians. And sana omo fight say, yenjai Galamsey tu no. Yenjai omo na de tu Galamsey no ya liberating no. And the time has come for Wontumi. So yeah, Obia in your witch hunting, Mrs. NDC and as a John Mahama person breaking MPP fronta. Obako for Yansani, no Wontumi. Wontumi has no political value. Oh, there are people.
Obako breaking no fronta. Obako for
Yansani. As a political strategist, if you want to do some of these shenanigans, now we design. Your friend is saying a very. You have a ploy to destroy a political party. You don't go for people like him. Because individuals they take away vote from the party or then upon so you allow those people to exist. So Alaska clearly say and near my branch and I know and I say minority babe defend say onyanye way onyanye again. You kono your first BNI from the fan omo.
That's right.
Ama de say hobi o makan wie. Then the guy engagement in activities, follow within the realm of another security agency. That is Yoko. Yoko abefawo. Almost some investigations in as if I see a grant you bail. And yes, almost someone grant you bail.
That's right.
The gentleman has been granted bail 50 million. Now you see, Meka say MPP4 are still living in the past. And they think that Ghanaians, either they think their followers are gullible, very stupid, until they can easily manipulate them for some of the nonsense that you saw Afenyo Marking and go doing yesterday.
That's right.
Because it's not as if say Yoko say Omo money bail. Wontumi was giving 50 million Ghana cedis bail. Alaska, I am taking you back to 2012. Wyoming was given 54 million.
That's right, 54 million.
Wyoming.
As at that time.
2012. Wyoming was given 54 million bail condition to meet before Ansana Mujano. Ansana, yeah, money bail, Amana Kofi. 2012. Oh, just imagine, says Sikano, devalue. What is over here demonstration?
No.
Alaska. Wyoming Sikano more canning in 51.2 million Ghana cedis. 51.2 million Ghana cedis. And I know Wyoming a try home to Alaska. Wontumi cases na ye kan ho asem no just one aye times by 5 of this your friend is saying Woyome sika because one of the transactions no aye $45 million
US dollars
won't Woyome sika no aye 51.2 million ya mani bela eso chain sika no enti Yoko Kofo anyade. And then who said some people are writing on social media.
Say Yoko Kofo, they have not no. They have not been fair to Woyome.
Exactly, because Sikana would two nipanities should be more than the amount of Niama oil involved. So the money should have been more than even the 50 million. So if Afenyo Marken and these people who are privy to some of these staggering realities are also in this country to the sense Sika FN 54 million as far back as 2012. Yeah, the Woyome so Abra na sika ye se wa fa dia ye campaign as for nyina ye 51.2 million and Abra ne single transaction $45 million. The other kwaji ko dua bro the oji se okwa ye kwan the enka ho. And the question is say enya media no na emotional politics na ya who will grant audience to these jokers out there? All that you have to do upon all the loot you can't grant him a bail. Bail na idea no. For the past 3 days, they won't to me that's what double.
That's them.
Na Alaska me say, I send Elon Musk or whatever. I send for Elon Musk or
Elon Musk. I send for Elon Musk. That's his excellency candidate.
Yes, na say on den kasika with small money man. Because
I simple Elon Musk.
I simple say Bill Gates, Bill Gates the richest man in the world. Your friend say Elon Musk. And they are simple for Elon Musk or how they say. And Alaska, you see, this is Wontumi guy in the last 8 years. He has demonstrated clearly say on your hieni or your billionaire were making money to the extent say sika bon.
That's right.
I will fear say can Wontumi kan any go. Don't forget to answer na MPP about power na branch away security not a man for dying in a man for dying more marry them fee. That is Wontumi for you. He was a security guy. Kumase free London by on one can go and listen to one of his interviews. Or by Joe Dancer, you remember about that is what he was doing. Which means that not on your rich. He didn't have money. He came back to this country broke. But politics and then I'm the guy from the scratch and then only about chains of TV stations, radio stations, millions of cars and that's all because of this politics. Oba Kroma say no security, not titia among for the
I just okay security no your watchman.
Yo, the other can be
watching
Alaska. And suddenly this guy because of exposure to political influence and political prominence in Tino. O you soon in sab nifa benkum aye de say o ye benya sika bia onyaye anno the day he was on TV yi gold yi niama digu amanfo at the time no nanka government of the day near very serious at least I want no korana some condemnation from government quarters should be targeted at that guy not send the message to him say wujimi dodo cuz at the time amanfo mo aman were crying over Galamsey. Galamsey say amanfo nsuo. Ohiane nema do amanfo. That is when the guy was on TV. Yi gold na se for echere. Evidence echere say mining na wo ye no. Wo san mine forest reserve. Alaska. Then Azem Bank sika okwaje so okodua bro.
$10 million US.
Alaska. Say enye politics na time krom ha ya. Such Wontumi ne nam hoyi. You can't omo farming in as for no man. Experience in as for the war here. There are prominent people who are into some of these businesses and they needed that particular money to go and do real farming. But but he will comfortably access that money because your child Wontumi on the party way. Your time contract that quino machine crew nibi because say crew but contract you have no no hang company to go and do it. That's what they do. And the Kroman say when you political power, you can do everything.
Serious.
But the vast majority of masses no mudi a chamber because we are here for who cry or move on for na she. Na offer na man for na we nipa na afre no. Na asamba then you want these poor people, some are very weak in the head. They don't still understand politics in tea. Obetiesi abonten. Oh na ye support oh na ye say you when the person doesn't even know your name. Say Gawunya Kwenya ko na niman ko be pamo to say we. Ko politics aye no kroma no. We don't use the politics to build people. You use it to build properties. Building property in other people's name, buying things in other people's name when they have the means to empower people. And then people begin to understand that politics idea here woman is to build human beings, exactly. Not your friend saying entities in this, your friend saying properties in that for because accept to what nipa the seni and the beginning ha come on. Those were the some come as I'm quasi loyalty, ne sa your friends a foolish loyalty, ne she nimna me no be any over yes no. Because I know the day politics amamuna ya no. It is about empowering and ensure that the welfare of the people will be taken care of. So Alaska, I think that Afenyo Markin and Co are just jokers. And I wonder why the MPP still I want the head stuck in their asses. Because Alaska, when you slip from political power like this, what a pongoso na so free to former. Unza winya free now to be tenacity when you are clear.
That's right.
That is why you begin to think, you reflect. Nema go wrong. Then you know the winya horse for front and so on. Unko yes a mistake no no so unko you ntwene. 92.3. But when tino motiato no. Sa nuhuni nya momumu. So over her attitude now is still belligerent.
That's right.
Mu obia sa kasafi ne unnecessary emotional
you should threats.
Yes, emotional. Yes, na be say or no better or so better.
About make President Mahama uncomfortable.
And make say you see the MPP is lucky to the stand say Nipo Society Akufo-Addo near John Mahama. He's very gentle. Na me ametia na me Society na nka Alaska mo modru Togo na edoso.
Amo bedru fa.
Oh, ka me sanka na do bia nipa be dwana ko Togo.
92.
Hey, Alaska me.
Obetu ya tena kroma. Na una na bi we see but yasi anura.
Na wanya no abetreten.
Yasi anura MPs ni bi do honum na no ka de unia wo yoko wanted list so yasi mrika bi odi ho ko pale.
Alaska. You see I keep telling people say when you are dealing with Nipo Mayama just say omu nim nyansa. Wo kire omu say wo no your friend say nya omu nim nyansa no mo warehouse na wo da anopa bia.
That's right.
So omu ntimi megimi wo wanim. Because Niama no mo ye no it's not premised on anything sensible.
Exactly.
Because at the end of your choir, Chairman Wontumi no more friend no. Has he not been given bail? Because that was the question I was expecting. Like a media for no baby so almost say the gentleman has been granted bail. So what is your problem? Just meet the bail condition and take him home. Number catch say 50 million Ghana cedis no more that so no. Then what I refer almost say as far back as 2012. You put 54 million on Woyome's head. And on the other abnormal. Sika na Woyome yasi wedi. Just 51.2 million.
Ivan, I'm not cutting you short. Tio General Secretary, Tio
to make problem.
Listen.
500 billion. Mo mujina ma 50 million Ghana cedis. Nipa do do send na Ghana ha o 50 million cedis. And now say unim say okasa agbo na e be den say obetuma kofa aba. And decide ya wonya ya. Dem be obedem 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. Obeso odem sa. Sa agena condition na won can say surety 50 million no. Enya dia ye de beba na e de beba china. Episode do mo kan e nipa
enya dia ye de beba na ye de beba china. Hwe General Secretary a wo nipa dem.
Alaska General Secretary ne katra mo say kakra aba dan no aba kan asem kra na asem o kan de ya katra ma kakra ka we General Secretary katra ma kakra ka we General Secretary go onu kwatena debate ya oba kasa ba kan me ma kan be 1000 no come ani Alaska I will not serious nsam no kan ta nyansa bia kura anim because onim say 2012 and I make us say when you are doing analysis we back it with fact and figures.
Exactly.
Go back and check say 20 as far back as 2012 Woyome was slapped 54 million Ghana cedi under MPP government for say why embezzle 51 million sikana the tone so na e so chain sikana yesi Woyome afa no Woyome sikana mo da Chairman Wontumi sika na omoda to no. Is it anywhere close to 45 million Ghana cedis now to 10 million now to the total so now to nsase a wase no reclamation ya kase ya reclamation e wo nsase no so do you know the amount of money involved Alaska we need to be very serious in this country and I'm say the MPP no need to panimfo na omonia bie wom no should re-strategize. No how to go about the politicking in this country because the landscape has changed. And people within the MPP themselves are fed up with the way manner they are going. And there are people within the MPP who are happy say Chairman Wontumi should go to jail.
Especially when you go to Ashanti region.
Alaska. Because so this is a message to Obia when you access to political power.
Sadly.
You need to be very wise and treat people very well. Because a koko we beba. Na se wo ye ufa kwa mono se ye niema. E mera bi bedura. Me say the only difference between being in office and being out of office is time.
That's right.
It's just the difference is time. Na wudi wunya tumi na wudi di nipa ni a. You should know say e mera bi beba. Ama na beka wo nko a na yoko sell no nko na bedam. E say oti hoyi omo ye dede wa abontina mu wi a obi aja na hokofie o.
That's right.
Nko na ahye kulam na ahye ho. Na Alaska winim. Ena meka sa ankrofo omo soro omo no den na me ye bold omo nyina ye coward. Just like Canada, Japan. Okay say omo unya uhu anwonani afa dua boni tin okay.
That's right.
Omo che no hu ni strategy no. Yo omo di question bo se na koma ye ne ya. Ade chi ye no the hospital. Na numo dwane na sefo nyina na omo koche no tu ade chi ye se ne diabetes aba na koma ye ne ya. Omo ma Canada, Japan so odampa fia bi se no wa mo an ho bia na no che. That is the same strategy this coward Chairman Wontumi.
Okoka Wontumi fast so a governor. Always no so yare.
Yes.
And then we so yare.
Yes. But you see, we know yare kra na unze Yoko for hospital.
That's right.
And the omba shows and walk akotum.
Yoko government hospital.
Yeah, Alaska. So you see, I think that we need to get serious in this country. And this emotionally driven politicking in this country where in some no bad. We want to take a man for agenda from the real issues. And I think that is the strategy the MPP has adopted. But I'm happy that this time around, Mahama is on his feet. Because you see, you cannot waver, you cannot cave into some of this nonsense. Because for them, that is their playbook. Chief Justice issue, this is the same thing they started.
That's right.
Making it look like John Mahama be and a Waba no special Pama. On one time, not some the court, or not quite in the brother fool. Supreme Court unanimously not turning 7 years to a signing in a Sobia.
That's right.
What are some? Because so was a papa no decision now what taking why are wrong what chere and then why besin there then you are out there doing demonstration as for Wontumi has been arrested by Yoko. He has been granted bail. He has a 48 hour yama bail meet bail condition akofie. You are unable to Nkrofona sika amanfo wia no okrom ha nyina nti ade telling us they cannot get property valued at 54 million.
And Mevana at the graph and on the floor of parliament.
Okay.
Man, baba, and I don't go say but you told us until sir you ever vary any bill when mumma into our two grade ma Wontumi say Nincrophone pen say back trying to chairman him.
And I say these are jokers, you can't take them serious. And the MPP need to do a serious your friend say a clean up in their party. Because I have sat here and have told you so the likes of Afenyo Maken or your leader need the minority or opposition him. Because that attitude of belligerence, that arrogance, that filthy talk, no, that attention-seeking mode now, no, and now quite not a form, then be far home. Alaska, nobody cares. And as I'm crashing now, Pahon, and no, be a parliament, when I was 7 grovos, I want to judge. And no matter what now. It's serious. Parliament in the they don't even need you there because I catch your numbers and I'm one. You can't influence anything there. So unko parliament, no be asem. The question they say, gentlemen, I didn't all you know for us say Wontumi say I'm for and for me, it is not just about Wontumi. Say a case Wontumi will not be fair to the gentleman because he's not the only person. Sense as in so kroma. That's right. Charles BC Odoket da ho. And several other people. Alaska. Alaska. You have a professor from Pom Watson report no. Da ho. we need to go after very people. I know also am I yensu asay na man for mo because of this galamsey no as for are we going to sit and say politics and abantie money nyina anko? No.
Professor Frimpong, but ni we ni no enu na opana trigger no opon ho kakra.
Alaska, every single person be a no must face the law. Because my culture say we cannot live in a country where a NDC MPP about where you say because Wontumi there are people who are convinced you Nkosiaga. Because the same strategy NDC MPP now. And like I said, this is the time for John Mahama to prove people wrong. Say the NDC and the MPP are not the same. Because people will not have trust in your democratic process. Now, I say, oh, wherever we are not, or cracker, we yet know or people no crocodile the Johnson or ABB. This is the time for him to communicate his real intention to the people of this country. Say Ghana for our watching because the animal catcher say. So John Mahama si abrosama Ghana ni bia or the $1 million to be account to ma. Now I'm prosecuting these criminals. Ghanaians will never forgive him because Alaska microphone obedi yesika no. Se nkomo ye nyansa phone mbe wi anka ye wira wo. Obi a onim nyansa na wasinya wi na o san di no wanim.
That's right.
Obi a onim nyansa na odi ne nsa for man sika na o san di no wanim. Esan di huru na wasan betra radio so abesa. Yase debe shine ya mahu ni video bi.
Oh, that's how them say there. Shine busu.
Yes.
One pia.
Na Alaska ompia. Na when we from security to a rich man. All of a sudden within 4 years, 8 years, and as within a period of space, I will be here. We are one ka umpia. Obepia.
Tie mama tie we.
Ade dia ba beto dwaso. And they say Ken, me pese be koto Chelsea club no. Chelsea club no manager.
Chairman.
Me pese be koto Chelsea.
Na Chelsea won scared as well.
Oh, na me pacha omo a top team na ya no mo ye footballers ana. Some ye business people. Yeah, I'm a businessman.
Also for £3 million.
£3 million.
Billion. 3 billion pounds.
3 billion pounds.
3 billion pounds.
Sanya bofo ne ska any day. The money pa. The money pa. I'm a businessman. I do gold mining.
3 billion pounds.
Of course, I didn't into me here. Me pesa me journey.
FM 92.3
Alaska. Now obi a over 3 billion to Chelsea there. Na ya say 50 million ya fam Bailey 50 million Ghana cedis so.
That's right.
Ghana cedis.
Which is 500.
But Alaska me tenancy na me hwade ya me ya no say you see me see say you're cheaping politics now to the sense that there are a lot of idiots who are coming to the political space and they are taking the spaces of the very intelligent people who are supposed to help us shape this country. Because they are monetizing the entire political landscape.
That's right.
Any idiot at all can pop up and say me Osika and then me patch the chairman.
But fraud for Beji Parliament.
I'm telling you, sir, in the coming days, you will see a lot of fools wanting to be president in this country. A lot of them will be coming up. Because Omwenye Sika in their various endeavor. And Kroma Winya Sika, the answer, Winya Sika, the next thing is to think of being president. Because president, you know, we don't think it's a sacred responsibility. That's it. But leadership is a serious business,
right?
And must not incorporate fools. Oh yes. In recent time, I don't know because Nyansaninu space, you know, ye not talk on ya. I told you that's what he was saying. Within the MPP, the supposed intellectuals were given a backdoor as were kicked out. And then quote unquote idiot rose to political prominence. In the party, Nipa no more a campaign wo me papa we ya chinin. Canada Japan and baby, your friend say Abronya nam baby, and as a for no acquire the new the no Ghana Gassi. Who describing it? Yes. No, omono na omo reni na kwabere Japan. Alan Chairman your friend saying
Paula
Foko and back in the energy minister your pam no watch jaconom ya flash your motor mogu baby. Intellectualism became a dear it was delected. So these people rose to political prominence and they felt say now this is a new era of MPP that we have. And then when we are so don't blame anybody. You understand?
Right.
Nearman and strong leadership be or her and go be a casachireno. But Alaska, I think that the to Wontumi is also a strong message to those in NDC today.
Now wrap up on that.
I think that you see, I buy a back kunyama. early days we di ho agora mistakes abaye no e bi na ye abaye bi amoso amkofa na ba ya yes ubisa am say who does your friend say a background check on people and now obi ba madam fudie keke ne yama position. It's very embarrassing.
Mewa ebi abre ekita certificate of the party.
Yes, obi am few now ada otoso so. Alaska, I think we need to be very, very, very serious in some of these things. Because when you go by any massy, it's one of the biggest way up, but lots of people are not talking about it. Because the question is, what background check na yeah before your mom for appointment in as for what I say? It take away a lot of stuff. You understand? I buy no Obama early days in one way ya. And when I mess up, won't me issues here. So uko check date na early days. And a man for year or more year,
right?
And I think this should serve as a bigger lesson to everybody anywhere. Me say, office bia wuti bia obiatena ho pen, and you should know say expiry date also. The obeye and a determine future. Or the area won't to mean and maybe beba a very before fro. The differences are braba bebo. What I say, right. To me. Use that power to build and empower people. Mom fan to talk as a mom prane, mon sisi ya dying chichecha mamfwa sabi. Omumre yenye na samba you expect Alaska and other people to come and defend you. That would never happen. So I think people should be smart and very sensible. Those were the time a man for investing emotions into politics. I'm catch yourself. Nah. That era is long gone. Say ni ubu ani gunipa so na agent so we nim dia omo ya mo metime yusu omo time so yusu omo na ya be yusu omo eduru dia you drop them emre bi beduru aba catch us papa na mahunyansa o you cannot use me no more, and that is what is happening to the MPP. And now you to know more party no they will not go out among for who no must sound straight no boy in some woman is country on door by they were not even call MPP people. So I think that political power yenye so mamfa so na you say real leadership na empower people na man for feeling the impact.
Say that was Ivan J Innocent. This takes us to 7 minutes into 4 p.m. Halidu Sabo say we yan kanchira was nyakwala soup na mwa krasan kuku ani yewo akwala soup eya na tatahwe na media da bi kanjira ne say David say oni ni fie nyina besum Yehowa saso na meni mi fie nyina be yisu akwala soup ewe ma fie bia mo